Hello again, this is BGFH for the Legally Cited YouTube channel, and we are concluding the Castle Town and Castle Tour in Minecraft. In the previous two videos, I took you through my warehouse and agriculture area, and in the last video we took a look at my other little farm here and the castle town and little village or sand village over there. And in the final part here, we are going to take a look at my castle, the kind of central point of this whole little kingdom. So we're gonna close that up, and so all around the castle itself I do have a wall. It's a couple of different floors. This area, there's no windows in it. It's just a quick way for the guards to get around. But if I head up here, up the ladder, so now we've got nice little archer holes so we can look out and see who's coming. If it's the enemy, we got like little archer slits here that I can use. I can go up the tower even further into the corners here. Whoa. And almost fall off. Okay, so like I said, though, we've got a nice little wooden walkway on the top of all the walls all the way around the castle, so we can, guard and defend the castle from there. And I will head back down the ladder. And there we go. So now we will head into the real part of the castle. Here's just the simple fountain in the front. And we'll enter. Now, when I looked through here last time, I'm kind of amazed. I'm not sure what happened, but last time I went through here, there were tons of dudes. There were tons of villagers walking around, and that's why, again, I turned the sound down in the last video, because the way it was before, as I was walking through here, you would hear just, a whole bunch of doors clicking, and, I decided to turn it way down because that does get a little bit annoying. So, here we got the throne room, right here. And my friend keeps giving me crap because he's like, it looks more like a church, and I hate to admit, but it kind of does, but I haven't really come up with another different plan for it. So if I think of anything, I might change it, but it works. And back here, we've got a place, so the king and queen or whatever can come from behind here and go up to the throne. And we will do that. I'll go through that area a little bit later, but there's a reason I'm leaving that for probably last. So here we got the main dining hall. A bunch of just long tables. Long tables there. We got the big table for the royalty here and distinguished guests. And I like our nice little Street Fighter-esque poster here, or painting, I should say. Minecraft does have a bunch of little random paintings that you can place for decoration, and so I've put a lot of those in. Like some of the, you've probably seen a couple in a couple of the houses and things, but I use a lot more of that in the castle here for decoration. Here we got our kitchen. Got our furnaces for cooking, and some sinks over there, some storage. And not only is the kitchen right next to the dining hall, but we've got our nice ballroom. I'm actually really pleased with how this turned out. It's went through a couple of different revisions as the game has gotten updated, because they've added a bunch of new blocks and features and things. So it looks a lot better now than it used to. But we got some tables around here. We've got another golem and a dude walking on the buffet table. Get off. I don't want to punch that guy because he will go absolutely crazy on me, so I'm not going to do that. But we got our dance floor here and our stage, and of course, got to have our bar. Good dance room's got to have a bar. And this is where, again, I said there was a couple other areas visually that people may have problems with or may have a little bit of trouble with. Glass. These are glass bricks or glass blocks. And I don't know if you can tell right away, but basically, it's not a flat roof. I've kind of, this block is lower and then it goes up here, and I've done that about 2 or 3 different times. So, I've kind of made it more arched or whatever, or more, dome-like, just to give it a little bit more of a cool look to it. And like during the day, if you're working with a complex pattern of glass or an ice brick, a block of ice, some of that stuff can be a little bit hard to see at times depending on the time of day and the lighting. Like if I'm trying to do an advanced pattern, I might miss a little chunk because I can't see, is that, if I put another glass block, did I put it correctly, or am I off by one? When I was building, I would have that problem occasionally, and so you just kind of have to be a little bit more careful with that. Like I said, ice and glass. I do find that with glass and that, I think it's a little bit easier to build at night because the borders and some of the contrast is a little bit easier to see at night because of the dark sky. And even if I'm using, I use a lot of, my castle's made out of cobblestone here. This is what this texture is here. It's not so bad in this building, but if I were to build a really complicated, more intricate structure, and you're just using one type of material, things can kind of blend together, and again, it's easy to get off by a block or two or miss something, and then you realize too late that you got to tear it down because you screwed up and you're off by a couple blocks or whatever. So that's where I think, depending on how well you can deal with contrast and things like that, that's an area where you may have trouble. The other part, which I kind of pass through but I'll talk about here, is you can build underwater or around water, and so if you're doing that, water is another thing where it gets really dark. I might even show that at the end of this video just to show how that can be a problem, because it gets really dark and it's really hard to kind of align blocks sometimes. And that would be another area where if you're going to have a problem, trouble seeing, that's where it might happen. So we're just going to start at the bottom of the castle and work our way up. And we're going to start by the dungeons. This is just a little guard office area for the dungeon. Go down a little bit further. See what I mean here? This is just all solid cobblestone. It doesn't look too bad, but if I was doing, like I said, a lot more intricate pattern, it may be a little bit tricky to kind of see, and it might be a little bit harder to build. And here is my dungeon. I got a few cells here. I'm not going to go in them because these doors here, this type, you have to have either wall or floor switches like I have here. And I don't have any switches inside because I don't want the prisoners, obviously, to get out. So, I'm not going to go in them, but basically you just got like a little chamber pot thing right there, and you got a little wooden slab bed thing. But that is the dungeon. So we'll go up. Come on. There we go. So this basement floor here, got a couple... Okay, you know what? Get out of the way. Okay, I guess the bathrooms are the happening place to be. These are just a couple little bathrooms here. But this floor here is really for the guards and the servants. So we got the guard and servants' quarters down here, along with a big storage room. I'll go here, and I'm glad I do have the sound low because again you can hear the doors opening and closing constantly. Get out of the way. And here's where I was talking how I went a little bit crazy with the number of villagers I put in my castle. I didn't think it would become much of an issue, but it kinda did. So this is like a little training area with some kind of training dummies for the guards to practice with. You know, again, you don't have, like, you have to really be creative when you build in Minecraft. There are certain blocks, you know, for furnaces and beds and chests, but, you know, for like tables and chairs and these training dummies and, you know, whatever you want to try to build, you know, there's no blocks for that. So you kind of just have to be creative and kind of make it look the way you think it would with the blocks that you have. So here's kind of the barracks, the sleeping quarters for the guards. And all around the outside here, we've got just some simple bedrooms for the castle staff. Again, a lot of these are identical, so I'm not going to go in every one. Hey dude, how's it going? So we'll just swing by these last couple here. But they're pretty much all the same. So that's the servants' quarters. And over on this wing here, we've got a few larger bedrooms for guests. These are actually pretty nice big rooms. And again, I've got one down here, and the floor right above me is exactly the same over here, so I probably won't. Again, I'm not going to walk through every room, but you get the idea. Again, I just took a room pattern that I thought worked and just kind of duplicated it. So before we go up, I will actually, before I do that, yeah, so at night, see the glass here, maybe a little bit easier to see, I think. You know, maybe you do see better during the day, but I find it's a little bit easier to kind of tell some of the depth for the glass at night. So we'll swing back out of the ballroom here, and I'll finish the tour of the main floor. This is a reception area. We've got a couple business wings here for the castle. Big meeting room. I really like how this turned out. The cool table and the podium back there, complete with complete with a Donkey Kong painting on the wall. That's pretty awesome. And we'll head out of the meeting room. And again, a lot of this, like I said, this is a reception area. A lot of these are just going to be a lot of offices. Some have, you know, all of them have tables and desks, or desks and chairs, I should say. A couple paintings. A lot of them have bookshelves. And a lot of people hanging out here. Again, we've got a couple bathrooms that guys are clipping through. Yeah, you just clip through that sink. That's cool. Yeah, I think it's... Come on. And over here we got another little reception area and the castle library. So you got some working area here. And the library itself. Nothing big, but, you know, it's a small castle, small kingdom, village. So it works. And I'm not going to go the rest of this way yet because we're going to exit the castle through there. So we're just going to wander back upstairs here real quick. And I'll give you the tour of the upstairs floors. So again, I'll just open this door real quick and peek in. Same as below, pretty much the same exact thing as the two rooms I showed you downstairs. And up here we've got the upper half of the business wing, and we don't really have any big conference rooms or anything here. We just got a couple bathrooms and some offices. So we got a big old office here. This is one of the more important castle staff. He's got a nice big office, bunch of bookshelves. And the rest of them are just, you know, really small offices with books and desks and things like that. Again, I'm not going to go in all of them, but you get the idea. And again, I apologize for that subtle background constant clicking, but that would be that's what happens when you add too many villagers. We got offices and our little lounge area in the corner. And that is the business, or I'll just call it the business wing of the castle. And we'll go a little bit over here, and we've got more guest rooms. So all of these are just and all of these are pretty much exactly the same. There's about 6 of them here. Some beds, a couple paintings. That's about it. Alright, go away, dude. So yeah, see, they're pretty much exactly the same, just a little bit different paintings and stuff. So we got basically all the rooms are the same, and we got, again, it must be tour day because there's dudes everywhere. And we'll head out here. This up here is the top area of the balcony for the throne room. And this is good because down here is where you really get, you know, where the townspeople can go and meet the king or listen to the speech or something. The castle staff can all kind of line up or just look from up here. That way, you know, the townspeople can be down there, and the castle staff can still be in on what's going on. So that's the throne room balcony. Actually, let me shut that and that. And we're almost done here. We just got a couple more little wings to go. I'm going to head up here to the royal quarters. So this whole little area here is the royal quarter. He's got his own little private library, and there's dudes jumping around. They're pretty happy about it, clipping through stuff again. He's got his own little library. We got a nice little living area, so we can invite some guests or, you know, dignitaries or something and meet in his private chamber. And he's got his own private kitchen here, also nice. Private bathroom in the corner there, which there's dudes everywhere, so I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, the guys are trying to push me and I'm falling off the ladder, and good lord. Alright, so here is the royal bedroom and the dressing room here with all the wardrobe and stuff. And the nice bed, complete with skull painting over the pillows, which, I don't know, read into that what you will, but I think it looks kind of cool, kind of funny that got this nice big royal bedroom with a skull painting over his bed, but that's pretty interesting. And the best for last, he's got his own private hot tub, complete with skylight. So that's a pretty good perk about living up here. And that is the royal quarters. Head back down. Come on. There we go. Oh, so many guys. I really got to get rid of some of these. And the last major part of the castle is we got a little rooftop garden here where people can come to just kind of relax and get away from it here. Yeah, my friend Chris actually helped me out a little bit with this, with some of like the greenery here. I like the cool little lantern things that he kind of put up with, like the little vines and stuff. Ended up looking pretty cool. Nice little simple garden up here. And here is the dignitary suites. So we have had a bunch of guest rooms and stuff before, but this is where the really important people come. So, you know, rulers from other companies or dignitaries that want to meet, this is usually where they will stay. So again, they have their own shared private kitchen there. And we've got also another shared, for the suites, we've got a shared hot tub with skylight again. Got to impress our foreign people here a little bit. Get out of the way. And so these two suites here, they share those the kitchen and the hot tub area. We got a nice big living area here and nice large bedroom. Again, nice skull paintings. And they have their own little, you know, private regular bathroom here as well. So then the other suite is basically just the exact same thing, just mirrored, so I won't bother going into that to save some time. But we'll head back downstairs if I can get around. Oh, come on, if I can get around all these dudes. And as promised, I will take you downstairs to the secret, or the escape route for the king. and queen. So we'll go to our main business floor here. I had a lot of fun building this. Like I said, I started the castle. That was one of the first projects I ever started in Minecraft, and like I said, it expanded to the village and all the stuff around it. But it's just been a really kind of fun project, and I'm actually pretty surprised at how cohesive everything has turned out. I can walk around the world, and it actually kind of makes sense where things are. I don't know if I just got lucky or but yeah, I'm really pleased at how everything turned out. This is just the kind of the door to the main speakers area for the ballroom. Or ballroom, meeting room. Sorry about that. We'll head out of there and to the private quarters here. And he can kind of get ready for his speeches or do what he needs to do. Think about things for a little while. And if we need to get away, we'll head down through this escape route. Again, that door is only one way, so you can only get out. Other people can't get in. Now this area here, to wrap up the tour, this is my village castle arena. So I'll go up this ladder here. This is the private viewing area for the arena that the royalty and guests can use. And again, with the glass here, I can see the glass fine, but I don't really care for the whole diagonal. I think the diagonal lines in the middle of each little pane of glass, I think they stand out a little bit too much, so it's a little bit hard to see out. I mean, you can, but I just think some of the diagonal stuff stands out and it gets a little bit too much in the way. Which leads me to a point that I was talking to my friend Chris about doing these videos, and he's like, well, you might want to mention that in addition to the core game, there are so many add-ons and mods and actually texture packs available that you can download for free. That, texture packs, basically, like I said, if I don't like the way these glass looks, I can find a texture pack that I do like, that would maybe part of that may change what the glass looks like. So I maybe just have a clear pane and don't have some of these extra diagonal highlights, things like that. And there are just loads of different texture packs available. So there's ones that are more realistic and high def that really have a cool medieval look to them. There's ones that are more like, animated style. Like I know I've seen a few videos online about people doing, like Simpsons or South Park skins, so they can make like a South Park or Springfield village, town, whatever. But yeah, so it's really cool, and you can use that, like I said, if you have trouble seeing a certain type of, if you have trouble seeing some textures and things like that, try maybe looking up some texture packs, and you may be able to, it may be a little bit easier for you to see. So again, the way this whole arena got started was that this whole area here, even from here on out all the way to the other end of this big room, again, when I started the game, there was no creative mode or anything like that, so I had to mine all the resources and collect it. And so I had, I wanted to do it close by my castle, so I didn't have to keep, carrying and storing things far away and walking back and forth. But what happened is I just made this ginormous quarry right outside my castle. I had this cool castle going on, but then I had this just gaping hole off to the side. I'm like, no, that's not cool. I gotta fill that in or do something with it. So I came up with the idea of filling over it with, the dirt and grass and everything, and then I made an underground arena. And then it kind of just so happened that I had a room that I could use, and I ended up figuring out a way to do that whole escape route thing, so that the king, queen, or whatever could get out of the castle if they were in trouble, and it comes out underneath the arena. And the arena here, I'm not actually done with it. I keep meaning to work on it again, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm kind of tied up in another project right now. But this is the lower floor of the arena where all the gladiators and fighters and stuff will be. All these rooms are pretty much empty. There's really nothing in them. But like I said, I'm going to add stuff in there and make them look a lot better. And we just got an open floor here where people can kind of meet or talk or do whatever it is. And it also serves another purpose, which I'll get to in just a second. So I'm not going to go through all these rooms, because especially since they're not done. But if I go up to the main floor here, this is the arena proper. And so we've just got a bunch of balconies or a bunch of bleachers here and there so people can watch. Again, it's not a huge arena, but it's it's a smaller kingdom, smaller castle and things. So I think it fits it pretty well. I'll just hop over into the arena here. There you go. There's a little king's viewing area there. But when I designed this, and the reason there's this open floor below is that, I can make, right now, I mean, it looks just like, an arena that, okay, it matches what, it matches the world. But early on in Minecraft, people came up with kind of a weird, almost like a sport. They call it spleefing. And what it is essentially is you can take, you make an arena, whether it's a small one like this or a really huge one, and you make the floor of it into a material, out of a material that is very easy to break. So glass, ice, sandstone like I've got here. And the object is you put a bunch of people in there and you get tools or whatever, and you just try to chisel out and break the blocks underneath people so that they fall down underneath. And some of them are, more lethal, where they'll have a pit of lava underneath it, and so if they fall in, they'll die. Or like this one here, they'll just fall down into the lower area, and then let's say they could come back up the ladder and watch the rest of the match. But yeah, I mean, so that's kind of a sport that people have come up with to play in Minecraft. So that's pretty cool. But that is the stadium, or the arena for my castle town. And it comes out, this is where people would, all the other people would enter it, right in the town square. And that wraps up my tour of Castletown, which again, I find it funny that I still have not come up with a name for yet, but there you go. Hope you found this interesting, and if the game does interest you, there is a free version it's a bit more restrictive. There's not as many blocks and features, but you can check it out and try the game for yourself. But if this looked at all interesting to you, I would highly recommend checking it out. The game is not expensive. I forget how much it is now. I got a little bit cheaper because when I purchased it in alpha, it was a little bit cheaper at the time. But it's still not bad, and it's definitely worth. If it at all sounds interesting to you, I would highly recommend checking it out. And that is my tour of Minecraft. And I will be back for probably more Minecraft in the future as well, because I am working on some other projects that I don't really want to talk about too much yet, because I'm nowhere near done with them yet. But I will almost certainly be returning to this game at some point in the future. So hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have any comments or suggestions, just leave them in the feedback down below, and I will see you next time.